Welcome to The Marketing of Business. This is your host, Bonnie Squires. We're brought to you by ACT, the region's business-to-business newspaper, which tells you everything you need to know about attracting customers, clients, holding on to them, anything you need to know about advertising and public relations. And today we're going to be talking about education in Philadelphia. We've got two people who are very brave, who just started a new school for kindergarten through second grade, and the name of the school is Philadelphia Classical School. The two people who run it are Katharine Savage and Ross Hatton. Katharine, what's your title at the Philadelphia Classical School?
I think the official title is Founder and Director of Academic Arts.
And Ross, you are?
And I'm the head of school at Philadelphia Classical School.
Okay. And you must know every student individually and know their names because you only have 21 kids, right?
It is very personal. We like it that way right now. That's great.
Very personal. What are the hours of the school?
So we run 8:30 to 3 o'clock currently with some before and after care as well.
Who does the before and after care?
That would be a combination of myself and typically our kindergarten teacher as well.
Ross, do you have a family of your own?
I do, actually. I have a 10-month-old Miles and my wife Leah who live in Philadelphia with me.
A 10-month-old, okay.
Yeah.
But he's not talking back yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's babbling, yes.
Katharine, do you have a family?
I do. I have a husband and 3 children, 2 girls, Lily and Susanna, and then Gabriel.
How old are your children?
Lily is 8, and Susanna is 4.5, and Gabriel is 19 months.
You don't have a Southern accent, but you did tell me
just wait.
that you went to Belhaven University in Jackson, Mississippi.
I did.
What did you study there?
I studied a combination of dance and philosophy. Well, actually, they're 2 separate things, but I focused in those 2 areas. It's a liberal arts college, so I had to do quite a range of liberal arts, but I focused in philosophy and also in dance.
And your parents said, but how will you earn a living, right?
No, my mom always said, follow your dreams, like do what you want to do.
Were you a professional dancer?
I did dance professionally for a while. You can only do that when you're really young, so
well, you look pretty young.
You got to do it while you can do it, so.
Where were you dancing?
One of the dance companies here in Philly that I danced with was Gene Ruddy Dance. It's a modern dance
sure.
company.
Yeah, Gene's terrific. What attracted you to Philadelphia? You were born and raised in
Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis. Mm-hmm. Then you went to college in Jackson, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Had you ever visited Philadelphia before you relocated?
I had some friends. Basically, there was choreographers that would rotate into our college for, residencies, and one of the choreographers was from Philadelphia, and I think he got funding for a project. I can't remember now. This has been a while. But he asked, I had worked with him at the school, and then he asked me to come up. And, I was after graduated from college and looking for something new to do. And so that's what I did.
Well, we'll find out more about the Philadelphia Classical School and the people who are running it now after these messages.
The major holidays are almost upon us. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's. Are you prepared for your holiday party events and other needs? Call Whims for Rent. They are a professional event planning company and can package your entire business or personal holiday event, or simply provide specific needs. They provide entertainment such as DJs or 3-piece bands, Christmas carol choirs, or even Santa Claus. Other entertainment possibilities include walk-around magicians, fortune tellers, or look-alike celebrities. They aid large corporate events, smaller business attractions, and family affairs. Just tell them your goals. For a free consultation and free ideas, contact Whims for Rent at 484-562-0067. Again, that's 484-562-0067. They are located at 29 Bala Ave in Bala Cynwyd, Pennsylvania, or visit them on the web at www.phillybizmedia.com.
The internet today is a must for businesses and organizations to represent themselves. A must. For the generations of business owners who did not have the advantage of an internet education beginning in grade school, there is basic help. Call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060. Our organization of marketing personnel, traditional and IT, will set up basic internet advertising aids for your business or organization at a modest fee. Basics. No big deals, no big costs, just basics. Plus a free get-to-know-your-goals meeting. Call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060. That's 484-562-0060. Be with it, or else you will be out of it. Again, call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060.
Need a speaker for your business meeting, organization, social group? Need a speaker who is entertaining, informative, or both? Need a speaker who is an authority on a subject close to your interests? We provide them. We are this region's Speakers Bureau. Call us at 484-562-0067. 484-562-0067.
St. Joseph's University is committed to developing everyday champions to help ensure student-athletes prepare for personal and professional challenges they will face throughout their lives. They want great athletes, but more than that, they want great people. Young men and women to excel as students, teammates, leaders on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. Your passion and support of St. Joseph's student-athletes make the difference. By making a gift to the Hawk Athletic Fund this year, you help in developing everyday champions. For more information or to make a gift, visit SJUHawks.com/champions.
Welcome back to the Marketing of Business. This is your host, Bonnie Squires. We're coming to you from WWDB. That's 860 on your AM dial. And our sponsor is ACT, the region's business-to-business newspaper. Our guests today are Ross Hatton, the head of school for the Philadelphia Classical School, and Katharine Savage, who is the founder and, I guess, chief cook and bottle washer for the Philadelphia Classical School, which is located at 17th and Washington. And how many years did you have to do research, Ross, before you decided to open the school?
So we had about 2 years in with a core team of people. Katharine actually had started research a bit before that as well. So I think 3 to 5 years of planning and preparation to launch this fall, actually.
Well, if you start your own school, Katharine, why didn't you just call it the Katharine Savage School?
Because this was definitely not about me. I never, set out to, again, make myself a career or make myself a wonderful, institution that would, bring me glory or anything like that. It was really, the focus is meeting the needs in Philadelphia, especially for children.
How did you have the chutzpah with a dance and philosophy degree to open a school?
I think that I've always been a starter. I've always been a person that gets things going. Now, this is the biggest thing I've ever got going. But and actually education-related things, camps, things like that, I've done things like that in the past. I think I was just really passionate about I've always been passionate about education because I felt like, growing up in elementary school and high school, I got an amazing education. I have teachers that I still keep in contact with that love me, that inspired me. And I just was not willing to settle for anything less for my own children. And just felt like that there were a lot of other children in Philadelphia who needed that as well.
Ross, you were graduated from the University of Pittsburgh, and you migrated to Philly because you got a job. What were you teaching in Philly?
So I was actually a fourth grade teacher at Hartrampt Elementary School in North Philadelphia for 7 years.
And you didn't even turn gray.
No.
Your hair's still dark. I can't believe it.
That's right. It was a great experience. Difficult, but an awesome opportunity for myself to connect with children.
Now, how did you hook up with Katharine Savage?
So Katharine and I have known each other for quite a while. Our families know each other, and we actually go to the same church in the city. Liberty Church, and we have a home group together. And
what does a home group mean?
So a home group would be a group of people that meet in a house together during the week to talk about the sermon that week and to connect with things that are happening in their lives.
Because it's neighborhood based.
The Philadelphia Classical School is a Christian-centered, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
That's our spiritual foundation.
Okay.
And basically I had watched, Ross and I were friends, I watched him with children, and I watched him just over time, and I knew that the joke is that I texted him late one night years and years ago saying, hey, I'm going to start this school and I want you to be the head of school. Will you do it? And he was sort of like, okay, when, the unicorn's in the street, and we'll do that in 10 years. And I said,
15 years, call me and we can start that thing.
Let me know. But I said, no, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this in the next few years. So he has been just a wonderful friend and partner in this whole endeavor.
How many teachers do you have for 21 kids?
It depends what you classify as a teacher. So we technically have 2 grade teachers, but Katharine and myself also teach classes during the day. So, 2 to 4.
Okay. And are you renting? Because it's a bricks and mortar school. It's not a virtual school. It's a real school.
That's correct. So we're currently renting space from another church during the week, and we're actually on the search for a building as well as we grow.
Katharine, did you max out your credit cards? How did you get the money to start a school? Because you had to buy supplies, you had to sign a lease, you had to hire teachers, you got to pay people.
Mm-hmm. We were, part of what I did to start the school is I went around and just did a lot of speaking to friends and then friends of friends, sort of networking. And we were, blessed to have some seed money that people stepped out with us and, supported us financially. So I did not put anything on my credit card. Oh, well, I'll say this. I put a little bit, but not anything earth-shattering. So.
And the lights are still on.
Oh, yes.
And the heat's still on.
Very much so,
right?
yes. Now we can also get money from tuition because it is an independent school, but we've actually chosen to do a sliding scale tuition. So it's income-based tuition. So that's a unique feature of our school. And by doing this, we've given a lot of different types of families in different situations the opportunity for a great education.
If people want to explore your website, what do they Google?
Philadelphia Classical School.
No, classical school.
www.philaclassical.org. Does that sound familiar?
Yes, it does.
www.philaclassical.org. Is there a phone number that they can call if they want to talk to you and make an appointment to come in and observe?
There's actually a contact form on our website, which would probably be the best way at this point.
Okay.
And we could schedule appointments from there.
All right. How did you corral 21 parents, or maybe there are 2 kids from a family or 3 kids from a family, but how did you corral the first group of parents to commit their kids to the Philadelphia Classical School?
We hosted events where, I would share the vision of what I, wanted to do. And, Ross talked about how he was going to be leading the school. And we really just, got people on board that way.
Did you advertise it all, or did you put flyers in their mailboxes?
We had flyers. A lot of
Very
his work.
Grassroots.
Yeah, grassroots, word of mouth.
No graphic designers and things like that. Katharine and I did a lot of the footwork and legwork, and we made it happen.
There's really such a need that it was easy to get people's ear.
Okay. Well, it's sort of like Mickey Rooney. Let's put on a show. You said, let's start a school, and it actually happened. I commend you for that. Well, we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back and talk some more about the Philadelphia Classical School.
All American Sports Collectibles is the only place you need to know for all your autographed sports memorabilia. Jerseys, bats, helmets, and more signed by legends of the past and today's greats. All autographed items come with a certificate of authenticity plus an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. And all vintage items have been scientifically authenticated and come with 2 forensic certificates. Call us at 877-827-7822. That's 877-827-7822. Visit us online to see our extensive inventory of autographed sports memorabilia. That's aasportscollectibles.com. That's aasportscollectibles.com.
We're a Philadelphia advertising agency, American Advertising Services, and our job is to create solutions for your business problems. Do you want more customers, more sales for your products or business services? American Advertising has helped many, many area companies, large ones, small ones, family-owned firms just like yours. If you are in business and serious, make American Advertising your advertising agency. per job assignments welcomed. American Advertising Services. We are serious about helping your business.
American Advertising Services is located at 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004. 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004. You can call them at 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060.
Would you or a relative like to own your own business? Are you a friend of a business associate wanting to break away or have been terminated from their current job? Do you know a retired military or other early retiree looking to be their own boss by acquiring their own business? Do you know someone desiring to sell their business? Sunbelt is your area business broker. Sunbelt sells more businesses than anyone else. That's Sunbelt. Sunbelt Businesses Brokers. Contact Stephen Rosson. He's the president of the area's Sunbelt office. Call him personally at 610-941-2177. That's 610-941-2177. Sunbelt sells more businesses than anyone else. 610-941-2177.
You're listening to The Marketing of Business. We're coming to you from the studios of WWDB. That's 860 on your AM dial. And our sponsor is Joe Ball's ACT, Advertising Communication Times. That's the monthly regional newspaper that tells you everything you need to know about advertising, communications, attracting clients, and holding on to clients. And we've got two pioneers with us today in the field of education. We've got Katharine Savage, who's the founder of the Philadelphia Classical School at 17th and Washington in South Philly, and Ross Hatton, who's her head of school at the Philadelphia Classical School. And they started just a couple of months ago with 21 students. It's amazing that you opened your doors and you had as many as 21 students with a brand new school.
We felt lucky.
We actually started 18 and gained 3 during the first few months, so that was even more encouraging.
Oh, that is. And tell me how you got that article about you and your school in the Philadelphia Inquirer, because it was a gorgeous article.
So actually, I did 7 years in the school district, and through my time there, just a bunch of different situations occurred that to me just seemed unjust. And so I would often just email the Inquirer education editor and say, hey, this is happening. What do you think about this? And so I had her email sort of in my cache of people, and once we started the school, I said, let's send an email and see what happens. And especially in light of all the negative press that was going on in the city, I thought, hey, would you be interested in a positive story about education and the exciting things that are happening? So
now, you're an independent school. Mm-hmm. Do you have to answer to the Pennsylvania Secretary of Education? Are there requirements that you have to meet in order for your kids? Ultimately, you're going to add a class every year, a grade every year. Now you're K through 2. Mm-hmm. Next year you'll be K through 3. But ultimately, your certificates or whatever have to be worth something to the Department of Education. So how do you answer to them?
I mean, there are definitely standards that we're very aware of. For instance, you have to start standard testing in 3rd grade, and we will do that. I can assure you we go far beyond what the state requirements would be for academics, for sure.
But we are registered with the Pennsylvania Department of Education as a non-licensed independent school. And as we grow and add grades, we'll actually seek licenses through the Association of Classical and Christian Schools, and potentially through the Middle States Association as well.
I know there is a national organization for independent schools. Are you classified as independent, or you're classified as a religious school? Which is it?
We are independent, and we may seek that organization as well, but the specific classical piece that we teach sort of lends itself more to the ACCS, or Association of Christian Classical Schools.
Do you have kids singing Christmas carols in Latin at the Philadelphia Classical School?
Well, we're going to start Latin in 3rd grade next year, so that is definitely...
Who's the Latin scholar between you two?
Neither one of us is a Latin scholar. I think we'll definitely... hire a teacher to do that.
Our 2nd grade teacher has taught Latin.
I remember from 8th grade Latin. You were required in the Lower Merion School District to take a half a year of Latin, half a year of French. And I remember puer, puella. I think puer is boy and puella is girl, right? And the only other thing I remember about Latin class is that the teacher would put a grid in front of each student. And if puer is the Latin for, and the male for boy, put the letter whatever in this box. Right. And if you ended up spelling words, you got a Hershey bar. I got a Hershey bar every day in Latin class.
It is very systematic.
But then I got a Hershey bar every day in French class, too. And at the end of 8th grade, you had to pick. So I went to my mother, who had not had the benefit of going to college, but she had studied French in high school. And her scientific analysis was, only dead people speak Latin. Take French. So with all the research, right? Yeah. That's why I took French, luckily, because I studied for 8 years and became fluent, and I met my husband because he didn't speak any English, and he speaks French and I speak French. So
there you go.
It was very worthwhile to have studied French.
Absolutely.
What can I tell you? So what's your vision for like 5 years from now, Katharine?
My vision from 5 years from now, let's see, what grade will we be up to?
K to 8. At that point?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's lots of exciting curriculum that sort of comes in as you build the grades. Lots of exciting, one of the things that we're doing with our school is we're having our kids out in museums in the city.
So I was just going to ask you about arts and culture.
Yeah, it's a huge focus because it's really easy to do in the city. And I think a lot of times urban education has a negative connotation, but why can't it be really positive? There's a lot of wonderful things about living in the city. The parents that are sending their children to the school are committed to staying in the city and living in the city. And so we want to take advantage of what the city has to offer. And I think we've purposed to do that from the beginning. And we are taking little kids on SEPTA to the art museum and to different museums on a regular basis, twice a month.
To the barns. Oh my God.
Yes, definitely. I love the barns. I love the barns, and definitely. But I think as you get older, you can do more. We went to the Rosenbach Museum, and they have all sorts of school collaborations and just possibilities.
Oh, the Rosenbach is so phenomenal, especially. They have a treasure trove there where the wild things are.
Yes, we saw that.
That's what we visited.
Maurice Sendak.
Our kids loved it.
And a couple of years ago, a family that had been friendly with Sendak had commissioned him to paint a mural in the kids' bedroom years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that.
And
that was on there.
they were able to remove that wall with the mural and place it in the museum. Mm-hmm. Fabulous. Just
it was
fabulous.
amazing to see.
Yes. Well, what I really liked about that whole experience was that later on, the first graders were reading Little Bear, and the illustrations are by Maurice Sendak. And I actually did not call attention to that for them. But the parents were saying, oh, we love that they were in the car and carpool discussing the illustrator, Maurice Sendak, for their literature section. So it was definitely inspiring them and stimulating them to think, sort of beyond the regular kiddie topics.
Well, it's amazing because even the pre-kindergarten kids, they understand. I remember going to a child care center at Johnson & Johnson, and they had just had the 3-year-old had just done a whole study of the French Impressionist painters, and it painted their version of what the Impressionist paintings were. It was astounding.
Yeah.
I mean, kids are sponges.
Definitely.
They really are.
Definitely.
You just have to believe that they can learn, and then they learn.
Exactly. I think just what you said about the sponges, I think that's a really one of the foundational ideas in classical education is that children are sponges, so you want to soak the sponge. And you want so that when they get older, and they're writing and reading and speaking, you want them to, when you squeeze that sponge, to be able to, pour out all kinds of wonderful, synthesis of the information that you've given them and the experiences that you've given them.
Now, Katharine Savage, you can pick and choose what students you want to admit to your school. But what happens if there's a kid that's really a behavior problem after the kid is admitted? What do? Do you have a guidance counselor, or do you have an arrangement with some kind of counseling service?
So currently it's been very family-based. We haven't had any huge behavior issues. And I wouldn't say it's just because we've picked and chosen. I think we want to make sure the school is a good fit both for ourselves and for families. And we're not just committing to only accept very well-behaved students or very high-paying students. In fact, we scholarship children pretty heavily. Families pay anywhere from $1,800 to $12,000 for the year. And
wow, $12,000.
That's what it costs.
They could go to college for $12,000.
Well, not anymore. If you look around the city, the full cost of our school is about half of what a traditional independent school would cost.
Really?
We're actually, when I was looking for schools for my child, I realized there were actually not many mid-range options. So I had paid for a preschool for my child, and for what I paid for preschool, I couldn't pay for any other sort of school. For education, I could pay, double that for a private school, or, it could be quote unquote free for maybe an underperforming school. So I think we're actually unique in that way.
And we value what we do and believe that you charge what it costs. I think in the past, oftentimes schools have been afraid to do that. But we know we have an excellent product and we believe in that. And
we don't have any hidden fees. There's no trip fees, even though we have children in museums twice a month. There's no bus fees. There's no book fees. It's all included. So we think that's fair.
What do you do about a traditional school would have an art teacher? Well, they've gotten rid of art teachers.
They used to have art teachers.
Yes, and music teachers. What do you do about music, by the way?
This year we have a family. One of the families, they are musicians, and they come in the morning and they the husband plays the guitar, and the mom has actually an education background, and they sing and teach the kids about forte and mezzo forte, and they have the terminology and things like that. So we're doing that this year for music, and then for art, one of our grade teachers teaches art this year, but next year as we grow, we're going to be hiring an independent contractor for that.
And what about gym class?
You're looking at the gym teacher over here.
We alternate actually with gym and then movement. We call it movement music, which I do. So we alternate between.
Well,
those.
what about dance? Because you've got the background.
Yeah. This year we've been doing movement class. So for instance, we did a whole movement theme on and they kind of developed this dance about that. We had. You
have to take them to the Penn Museum.
We did. We've done that. We did Egypt already. We're going 4 more times. So yeah, there's definitely. I try to use academic curriculum sort of topics to build movement class and just to reinforce what they're learning. And
well, if you're interested and you've got little kiddies and you want to send them to a very unique school, the Philadelphia Classical School, you can Google them at www.philaclassical.org. Again, that's www.philaclassical.org. And our guests today have been Katharine Savage, who is the founder of the Philadelphia Classical School, and Ross Hatton, a former Philadelphia school teacher who is now the head of school. And by next year, if you've got a kid that's ready to go to 3rd grade, right, Katharine? You're going to be growing, and it'll be K through 3 next year.
That's right.
So, well, I'm glad that the recession is past, because hopefully, hopefully we're doing better with the economy. If it only stops snowing so the shopkeepers can get some business, and contribute to the economy. But it looks as if you're on an upward track, which is very nice.
We're very excited.
So we've been very happy to talk to Katharine Savage and Ross Hatton today, and we'll talk to everybody next week. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, thanks.